welcome. It's the 6th annual California Cable Supplier Diversity Fair. I'm Brad Pomerantz. Why don't we go inside and hear about all the great work that the cable industry is doing to attract diverse suppliers. Come on in.
What I like about this program is there's a little bit of talk up here. You know, I came prepared with my iPad. I was going to plug it in and do a whole thing. We don't do all that stuff. This is all about business and making the connections and putting things together. And I love that because that's really getting down to the practical things that we're all here to get done. And it's not about a lot of talk. The real object for supplier diversity is one of the things that we work on in our organization is to leverage supplier diversity for economic benefit in underserved communities. So when a government kind of legislates that or an organization sets that in motion as an objective, what they hope will happen by being inclusive of diverse businesses, women, minorities, service-disabled veterans, LGBT, that those organizations are somehow going to take that economic fuel, I call it. So when I look at the transactions we've worked for so many years between businesses and our large companies, Cox and Sony and all these companies, all of that activity creates economic fuel. But like any other fuel, if you create economic fuel and you store it in a tank or it dissipates in the air, you don't do anything. It doesn't drive anything. So the object of supplier diversity is to create that economic fuel, make those connections, networking, association, helping the underdog, economic impact. You should be driving that back to economic impact. And so that's one of the things I want to kind of lay out this morning is for you to think about the whole idea of supplier diversity, what its true purpose is to bring economic value in underserved communities. Because there's one thing that's true. There's a lot of names in the clearinghouse, in a database. There's a lot of companies in there. But I would bet money, I bet my house, that there's a lot of companies that are listed in that group that will not get to a point in the next 20 years, if ever, that they'll actually do business with the largest companies. So if they're not, then that ecosystem has to provide for those companies in some way. And we have to make a conscious effort to do that.
So Long Beach is a fantastic place, and a little bit about the work that we've done in Long Beach around diversity. In the last 10 years, our city's really transformed the way that we look at how we do business and look at how we do business with those most impacted. And we have a mayor, we have a council that really prioritizes ensuring that we have diverse people at the table, that we have everyone's voices heard, and that we create pipelines for small businesses, for people coming out of college, to get into new jobs and to make sure that those jobs are good jobs, like you guys all create. And so I'm really excited to be kicking this off today because I know that a lot of you will have an opportunity to connect with some small businesses locally or outside of the area, and that whenever you guys are talking together, that you're creating new ideas together and creating new business opportunities. And that's what we want Long Beach to be. We want it to be a place that is transformative, that is a place where we can build community and that business can come together and think outside the box together.
We're here with Michael Moss. He is with the Supplier Clearinghouse, which does what, sir?
The Supplier Clearinghouse is a certification agency for the California Public Utilities Commission.
And explain why the California PUC has a clearinghouse for certification. Talk to us about its General Order 156.
Sure. So in 1989, the California Public Utilities Commission issued General Order 156, which required the California's utility companies participate in the Supplier Diversity Program.
And be specific. What does the order ask the companies to do?
Sure. The order requires Of course. Okay. The order requires the utility companies here in California to participate in the Supplier Diversity Program, and they have goals of 21.5% utilization for women-owned, minority-owned, service-disabled, veteran-owned, and also LGBT-owned businesses.
And so how does a company that's working to meet that goal know if a company that is saying it's diverse is diverse?
Because we said so.
Explain that, my friend.
Companies submit applications to us to be certified as a woman-owned, minority-owned, service-disabled, veteran-owned, or LGBT-owned business. When they submit the application to us, we verify their status and verify their ownership and management.
Michelle Ray is with us. She is with the Walter Cates Foundation. I know the foundation well. Give us a sense of what it does generally specifically with regard to the cable industry?
Sure. So the Walter Cates Foundation is actually headquartered in Washington, D.C., and we are the diversity arm for the industry, if you will. We focus a lot around women, ethnic minorities, and the LGBT community, and more recently we're sort of focused on veterans issues. Something like this, the Supplier Diversity Fair here in California, we have been tangentially involved for the last 5 years or so. We are a supporter, and of course I always attend because I have an interest in the supplier diversity realm. So, we do a lot of things, but this is also one of the things that we focus on.
What we know, Michelle, is this year has more attendees than any year of the past 5. Over 100 companies are here, over 160 interviews already set up. Why do you believe that these types of fairs are important and apparently succeeding?
Well, I think it's important for several reasons. The first of which is it's an opportunity, especially for small businesses and vendors, to have an opportunity to not only to meet the bigger companies, the Charters, the Comcast, the Coxes, to see if there's any real opportunity or intersection of business interests. But beyond that, it's a way for people to find other people that are very similar to them and businesses similar so that they can sort of collaborate and maybe even sometimes partner, because a lot of times very small businesses are not in a position to take on contracts. And as a result of that, what they need to do is to scale and to scale up. And so this venue is a really good way to meet people who may provide some collaboration around partnering and therefore give them a better foot up or a leg up to interact with the big companies to procure better opportunities.
I'm here with Carlotta Baker. She's with the Baker Group, who actually is the entity that put together this fair. Am I right?
Yes, we are. We are the event management company. We've been working with the California Cable Association now for 6 years, so it's been a great opportunity.
And I understand that this year, the best attendance ever. Is that right?
We have. We've actually had 90% of our registrants to actually show up this year. Normally we have about a 10% attrition, so this year we keep our fingers crossed everybody's going to show up.
What does it mean to the attendee to have the opportunity to come to this supplier diversity fair for the cable industry?
It actually gives the suppliers an opportunity to have a one-on-one meeting, to actually sit down and basically sell themselves to the cable companies. We get an opportunity to match them based on the services that their company provides and the categories that our cable companies and cable representatives are looking for. So to give them that one-on-one time is actually very beneficial, not only for the suppliers, but for the cable companies as well.
And how do you do that match? How does that work?
It is based on their registration.
In the best sense.
Yes, so they actually apply to our company. We review their qualifications, what their company provides. We have an entire staff of people that actually researches the companies to make sure that they're telling us exactly what their companies do. And then we base it on the needs of our cable reps. And then we actually go through and matchmake them for those 10 to 15 minute meetings that we give them.
So let's go talk to some of the executives with the cable companies present today at the California Cable Supplier Diversity Fair. We're joined now by Michelle Hawkins. She is the Group Vice President for Procurement for Charter Communications, one of the 3 cable companies here today at the Cable Industry Supplier Diversity Fair. Before we get into the event today, tell us what procurement is.
Procurement is the acquisition of goods and services, and so my organization is responsible for partnering with the business to negotiate all of the agreements that we do with our suppliers.
And when you think about suppliers and a cable company that has recently acquired 2 cable companies, you are acquiring everything. Pencils, pens, cable boxes, you name it.
That's right. Anything from software, hardware, the equipment that we bring into customers' home, as well as whatever we use internally to help the company run effectively.
So talk to us about why events like this are important to charter communications, specifically the cable industry generally.
It's important to us because it's an opportunity for us to connect with suppliers locally so that they can better understand what our needs are and
sense of Charter's commitment to supplier diversity, which I know is sincere?
We are very committed to developing our supplier diversity program and increasing the spend that we have with diverse suppliers. We're looking at the organizations that we want to become have memberships in, and also develop relationships going forward. And that enables us to have greater visibility of the suppliers and the capabilities they have and how we can partner with them and, again, potentially do business to support our business needs.
We're joined by Del Heinz today. Del is with Charter Communications and Government Affairs, and Del, no doubt an exciting time for Charter. Charter is going from the fourth largest cable company in California to the second largest, taking significant territory throughout Southern California. How will Charter implement its supplier diversity goals with this new great community input?
Well, first off, this is the right thing to do. Charter has been a part of the communities for many, many years, and we want to even be a bigger part of the community. And if you look at our customer base, it is extremely diverse. It just makes sense that we do business with every women, minority-owned, or veteran-owned kind of an organization, because that's who our customers are. And that's who our business customers are, as well as our residential customers. So it's just the right thing to do.
This is the 6th annual fair, and I was pleasantly surprised, yet not that surprised to learn, most attendees have won.
Yes.
Why is it that this fair, the 6th, has been so successful?
Try to make commitments on a federal level at the FCC and at the California level, at the California Public Utilities Commission, to basically extend assertively our outreach to minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. And that's one of the reasons we're doing it. But what we did in the Government Affairs team this year is took it very seriously, and we really actively went out and solicited minority businesses to come in and participate. We worked it really hard.
We're joined by Dean Leavenworth. He is with Charter Communications. And Dean, you have been involved in the California Cable Supplier Diversity Fair since the beginning. This is the 6th annual. You were there for the 1st annual. You've seen the evolution. It's become wildly successful.
Well, I think first and foremost, in our business, in the cable industry and in the broadband industry, we're in people's homes. We're in the community. We work there. We live there. And it's really important that our companies represent the communities we serve. At both our employees and our vendors and suppliers. And there's a lot of ways to do outreach that are very, very, very successful, but once a year bringing together a critical mass of people to really make sure that people understand the opportunities that are available and the ways that they can connect with a large company and become part of that supply chain. It's worked out tremendously over the past 6 years. It's grown each year, and we expect to continue to.
And I wanted to talk about that yearly growth because it is remarkable. Every year we've seen the numbers increase. What's going right? Why is it that we have more suppliers here, more companies that want to deal with the suppliers year after year?
Well, I think many of our business associations that we're a part of and have been for many years, chambers of commerce throughout the state, whose main goal is to increase the opportunities for business in communities, whether it's the California Black Chamber, California Hispanic Chamber, Cal Asian, other local chambers. They recognize that part of the mandate is to help get these opportunities, make them available, and then turn contacts into contracts. And they have been so helpful throughout the years, getting it out more and more to their membership, explaining the value of coming and meeting with folks, not just for today, but for tomorrow, and also for the connections that companies can make with one another.
Sandra Magana-Cuero is joining us today from Charter Communications, one of the 3 cable companies here looking to speak with diverse suppliers. Why is it important for Charter to be here today?
Well, we have a lot of presence here in California, and as many people know, California is a state that has tremendous diversity, and as a company that wants to succeed in California nationally, we need to be very cognizant of getting diversity within our ranks, and among that it's our vendors and our suppliers, because they're going to know our customers and they're going to help us service our customers better, and that's why we're here.
And let's talk significant portions of Southern California, LA County, Orange County, portions of San Diego County, Ventura County, Imperial County, Kern County. Just a lot of great counties with tremendous diversity, economic, ethnic, religious, racial. Talk to us about how you can leverage that.
Well, we went from being the number 4 cable company in the state to now the number 2. And so with that is a lot of opportunity and a lot of work. And so we're really hoping that this new expanded footprint will give us some efficiencies in terms of contracting with vendors, in terms of what we're able to offer our customers, both our business and residential. So there's a lot working for us in terms of being the number 2 player now. We're very excited to take advantage of that.
And I've seen you speaking with some individuals here who are attending, diverse suppliers. What have you heard? What have you learned?
Well, that the economy's turned around, to be honest. There's a lot of small business owners here today that feel that they're ready to take the next step and want to work with a big company like Charter. And so there's a lot of interest and a lot of sense that people have kind of come out of the recession and are willing to take on some more clients and some more work. And so that's refreshing to hear from the folks here today.
We are joined today by John Gutierrez. He is with Comcast, well known for its services in Central and Northern California. And sir, you've been part of the one-on-one discussions with potential suppliers who are diverse. Tell us about your meetings.
Meetings are very, very good today. You know, we're always looking for a diverse supplier to help us achieve our goals and achieve our business opportunities. We look at these as true partners in trying to serve the communities that we serve in Central California, and so we're always looking for new opportunities to work with these vendors.
And I think about the communities you serve in Central and Northern California. I mean, what a wonderful melting pot of diversity on so many levels. Talk to us about how Comcast has been able to so successfully integrate the goals of supplier diversity.
Well, we've done that because we really understand that we do serve diverse communities, whether it's the Latino community, Asian American community, or the African American community. A new opportunity for us is to reach out to the LGBT community, serving campus to other parts of the Bay Area where that community is so engaged is our next challenge and our next opportunity.
Esther Northrup from Cox Communications is here with us at the Cable Industry Supplier Diversity Fair. Why is it important for Cox to be here tonight?
So Cox believes strongly that diverse companies should have equal opportunity. And with a history of certain companies not always having opportunities, we're here to make sure that everyone gets a chance to do business with us. Not only for the opportunities for them to do business with us, but also for us to have a bigger pool of vendors to work with. You know, we want to reflect our communities. We want to bring new ideas and opportunities in our services. And the best way to do that is to sort of have a wide net of vendors that we can work with, that can work with us and to improve our products and services to our customers.
I think about Cox and one of its major markets in California, of course, San Diego, with an incredibly diverse population. So talk to us about how supplier diversity plays out in the beautiful city of San Diego.
Sure. I mean, so San Diego, Southern California, you immediately think Hispanic community, but it's a much more diverse community. Somalian, Chaldean, Asian. I mean, there's a huge community and wealth of people there. So being a part of the community means that we can fulfill the needs of the people we serve. And so not only do we want to bring products and services to these people that are relevant to them, given their diverse backgrounds, but we also want to do business with them. We want to support them and invest in the communities we serve. And that's another way to do it, through supplier diversity.
So let's go talk to some of the companies here today that are looking to create contacts so they can become a diverse supplier for California cable companies. We are with Drake Mewitt. He is with the Disabled Veterans Business Alliance, but he is also with the Global Environmental Network. So let's start with the Alliance. Tell us about the organization and why you're here today.
The organization is started out as the California Disabled Veteran Business Alliance. It's there to assist veterans and service-disabled veterans in entrepreneurship, starting up their businesses and fomenting their businesses through the future and growing. in the state of California, and we just last year went national. We had our first national conference. It's called Keeping the Promise, after Lincoln's speech on keeping the promise to the veterans. So we have our KTP. Last year it was in Texas at AT&T Stadium.
KTP is?
Keeping the Promise.
Got it.
And then this year on 11/11, Veterans Day, we have a big event coming up.
Oh, this is going to air after Veterans Day, so let's just stop right there.
Okay.
Okay. As I understand it, you classify yourself as a disabled veteran. This organization is looking to bring you on as a diverse supplier. Talk to me about it.
As a disabled veteran business owner, we have in the state of California and federally a 3% requirement for federal and state contracting. In the public utilities sector, we have a 1.5% bid preference that goes on with the public utilities in California. So what we try and do is, in our business, we do stormwater, water quality, we check contaminated soil before they put anything in. So the stormwater plans for the cabling industry and so forth, and say Edison or whatever, are called linear projects. So we will do that stormwater plan so nothing winds up in the ocean, nothing winds up in the rivers or lakes. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. As little as humanly possible to protect the waters nationally and statewide.
So why are events like this important to the Alliance, to Drake Hewitt? What does it provide you?
It provides us with an opportunity to get our foot in the door. When you become a diverse business owner, it gives you a hunting license, basically. If you don't go out and go after the game, then it's your fault. So this is an area where we've got our license, now here's the game, and we have to get in front of those people to build that relationship, or we can't do business with them. It's all about relationship building.
Jamaica Yancey is here today. She is with the Women's Business Enterprise Council West, joining us at the 6th Annual Cable Industry Supplier Diversity Fair. Tell us about your organization and why you are here today.
Excellent. So I am with the Women's Business Enterprise Council West, and we are here because our members benefit from opportunities such as this. They're able to come and have one-on-one meetings with people who have a vested interest in supplier diversity, and women spend as a diversity spend.
Talk to me about the growth of women-owned businesses and how those businesses in this century are playing such a vital role in the expansion of our economy.
They are playing a vital role, and I am actually a testament to the fact that we are expanding. We went from having one lowly individual here to having another because we have so many certifications that we're processing here in the Southern California area especially. We're seeing more women in Southern California than throughout our region, and really this is one of the fastest, short of Chicago, growing regions for women-owned business certifications. So it's incredible. Our women are supporting one another, so we're seeing them do business with one another, and then of course coming to events like this to network with corporations.
We are speaking with two members of the Long Beach Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. We are speaking with its president, Joe Mendez. We are speaking with its membership director, Marnie Spencer-Devlin. And I want to speak with you about why it's important that your organization is here today. We happen to be in Long Beach, but why is it important for you to be here today?
Well, we're here because we are an organization of small business owners, which are LGBT business owners as well as our allies. And we are here because the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce is a third-party source that identifies our members who are 51% gay-owned businesses to get on a supplier list for diversity projects and federal government contracts.
And I think that Marnie Spencer-Devlin qualifies.
Well, she's actually in the process of getting her certification.
Well, this is fantastic because I want to speak with you, Marnie, about how are you getting certified so that you can be deemed a diverse supplier and get some contracts.
Yes, it's very, very easy for businesses to get certified. You simply go on the website for the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, nglcc.com, and you fill out the questionnaire. It's very, very easy. They ask you some questions. You have to supply tax supplies and all these kind of things, but it's very, very easy to do it. And then you're certified, and then you count as an LGBT LGBT business, and the large suppliers who have government contracts need to work with you. So it's a really, truly awesome opportunity to get in the mix.
And our contact with that is that there is a fee to get certified through the NGLCC, which is $450. But if you belong to one of the LGBT chambers like us, the Long Beach Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, that fee is waived.
Which is fantastic, but you may also realize we're at the Cable Industries Diversity Fair. So besides government contracts, what do you think about the cable industry and its desire to contract with diverse entities, including those that are owned by the LGBT community?
Well, we think it's great.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. They're working with us. Of course, they're going to get the best now. They're open to the best now. So it's a true opportunity, I think, for both of us.
And we're here obviously because we want to let the communities know and businesses know that the Long Beach Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce has businesses that can provide services for diverse suppliers. Diverse suppliers that can provide services for businesses who are looking for those type of businesses.
We're joined by Ron Garnett. He is the president of the Council on Supplier Diversity, which is what?
Well, Council for Supplier Diversity is a not-for-profit organization, and we work with diverse suppliers, women, minority, service-disabled veteran companies, to help them to grow their business and get connected to opportunities with major companies, such as Cox and Sony and organizations like that.
So let's talk about creating those opportunities. It's easy for a Charter or a Comcast or a Cox to say, oh, we spend this much money with diverse companies. But you want to take that to the next level. Explain what that means. Why is spend important, but not the most important?
All right, great. I mean, I think for the longest time in supply diversity, the whole discipline of supply diversity, the metric was what's your percentage of spend? And I think that is important when in the early stages when you look at, where does your revenue come from as a big company, and then when you look at what you buy and where you spend your money in terms of putting money back into the economy, how much you spend. But so often we focus on that number of spend and we don't look at what happens as a result of that spend. Because the objective was never to say have spend. There was a presumption that when companies spent a fair share with diverse businesses, that somehow that would have an advantage in the community. But unless you drive that down, unless you articulate that in some way, or find a conduit to get that, what I call economic fuel created from the transactions with big companies and suppliers, unless you find a conduit to get that into the underserved community, you're really only doing a very small part of the job.
This is our 6th year at the Cable Industry Supplier Diversity Fair. Talk to us about the work of the cable industry in trying to create these relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we have one of the great partners in our market, actually. Cox is one of them. I've been for a long time, been involved in our board. And I think they've always been sensitive to the community outreach, because we talk to the folks in procurement, right? They attend our programs and do that. But one of the drivers, for example, in their company, are the folks who look at government affairs, government relations, and community relations, okay? So they're understanding that this is really somehow about community. There just hasn't been that mechanism of an organization that can do something in a comprehensive, well thought out, strategic approach to get that done. But cable companies have an awareness because when you think about it, who are they serving, right? So when you think about the communities that they serve, all their revenue comes from a very diverse set of clients or customers in the community. So it's in their best interest to do that, and they have a sensibility about doing that, and organizations like ours are attempting to help them do that.
Yet another successful California Cable Supplier Diversity Fair. My name is Brad Palmer. It's reporting from Long Beach. See you next year.